Hi everyone. I thought to address a question that a lot of people have with RxSwift, and that is what is the difference between flatMap and flatMapLatest. So I thought to demonstrate that with a little video. Well, in most cases, you're gonna need flatMapLatest, and I'm gonna show you why. As you can see here, I have a storyboard, and in the storyboard, I've created a button, placed the button there, just in the middle of the screen somewhere, or here, as you can see, and I've hooked it up through hooked it from the storyboard to my view controller. In this example, what we're going to do is that every time you press the button, I'm going to flat map the tap event of that button to a new timer. And then we're going to see what's going to happen to the timer when we flat map our tap stream. So let's go ahead and get the tap events of our button, and then flat map it. Or actually, when we tap it, every time I want to increment a number. So the first time you tap it, I want to get, for instance, 1. The next time I want to get 2. So let's use a scan for that. And then we're going to say 0. And then we're going to say number, and then ignore the second parameter, because the second parameter of scan in this case is going to be the void event, or the void value of the tap event of the button. And then we're just gonna return a number plus 1. All right, so now we have a stream of ints. So if I say foo, you can say it's an observable of int, as you can see here, observable of int. And then we're gonna flat map that. And then I'm gonna say number or tap number in. And then we're gonna return actually an observable of int, which is our timer. All right, observable of int. Let's have a look what happens here. And then in here, we're going to create an observable of int, which is an interval. And then every second is going to trigger on the main scheduler. All right, let's break these down like Flutter so it becomes a bit cleaner. And every time this timer goes off, I want to print a statement. So debug isn't really going to cut it for me because I want to get this tap number. And also I want to get the net value inside this observable timer. So I'm going to do a next. All right, let's get that number. And then this is our interval in. Get rid of these parameters. We don't need them. And then I'm going to subscribe to this whole thing and dispose. All right, and we have a bag right here, as you can see. All right, now let's print and say this is our tap number. And then we're going to get our tap number. And then we're going to say interval number. And then we're going to say interval. All right, let's see what happens in here. Declared closure. Okay, get rid of that as well. All right, let's run the app and see what happens, okay? Now, I'm going to bring the debug area up so you can see. Now I'm going to tap on this button. Okay, you can see there's a timer that went off on the first tap. So an event came in through to scan, incremented 0 to 1, great, and then came into the flat map. As you can see, it created an interval observable in here that starts with 0 and then just keeps going. So as you can see, I haven't really subscribed to this observable of int anywhere. The way it works is that the flat map is going to create a subscription to this observable of int because we have a subscription to the tap event of the button that created the next. This is basically how Rx works. We don't have to explain that. But guess what happens if I tap on the button again? Look at that. Now there's a second stream that's been created here. And this is the first event of that stream. As you can see up here with the interval of 0, it just keeps moving up, so I can't really capture it. But as you can see, there's 2 timers now. Both are living at the same time. This is not what you want. Excuse me, this is usually not what you want. Basically, what you want is that a flat map kills the previous FlatMapSubscription. Right? Because otherwise you're going to have like observables living in your app without you knowing, unless this is explicitly what you want. So if you have a situation where like a stream sends the next event and then it has to keep alive the previous event's next streams, flat map or subscription, then this is what you want. You want to use flat map. But let's change this to flatMapLatest and then run the app again. Let's see what happens. Good. And I'm going to press the button, and then you can see our timer started. This is the first tap event. And see what happens now if I tap the button again. Boom. The first timer's dead now. So this is usually the desired or the expected behavior of the flat map, in that every event that comes in, you want to kill the previous subscription. So this, I hope that this video explains the difference between flatMap and flatMapLatest in RxSwift.